Grab your flight plans, wargamers, because the crew of the Blackraven is on the hunt. As you recall, they have been tasked with tracking down the magic space baby, and they are so close they can taste it. Unfortunately, along the way, they lost the services of their thug and had to recruit a new one. That is who you're looking at here. For those of you that this is your first time enjoying the adventures of the Blackraven, this is Cobalt 15. He is the pilot and escaped AI who is on the run from the Kafkocracy. Kafkocracy agents caught up with him and tasked him with finding the magic space baby. This is his ally, Marion, who helped him escape from their clutches and is on the hunt for a babe of her own, although the babe she's looking for must be taller than 6 feet tall, have a good steady job, and be good with kids because she's after her true love. This is Lieutenant Dane, a military academy graduate who has decided to opt for the life of adventure out on the fringes of civilization. And the new recruit here is Poultry Joe, an alien who grew up on the factory egg farm of, I don't know, let's call it Quiche Prime. The Kafkocracy enslaved his planet and turned it into a planet-wide egg farm to produce plenty of protein for the little Kafkocrats. Kafkocrats? What would you call the citizens of the Kafkocracy? Kafkocrians? Whatever it is, he escaped and found passage with Cobalt 15 as an escape from the drudgery of working in the planet-wide egg farm. And now they are one step closer. In fact, they have narrowed down the location of the magic space baby to one of 4 caves. Let's take a look at those caves, shall we? And I should warn you, I am on the road, and unfortunately my character sheets did not survive the trip, so I had to reconstruct all of their stats from memory. Here you can see the battlefield. We've got 2 areas of rough ground that cost the first 2 centimeters of movement. You got to pay 2 centimeters anytime you move. That's how we're going to do it today. We've got a couple of areas, small ponds, that are impassable terrain for everyone except for the bad guys. The Pelagics are back. We also have a couple of areas of rough ground. That hill is the same as this one. This cliff is impassable. That's the only function of these 2 features. And then we have the big brain mountains of Brainiac Delta. I constructed these out of simple extruding foam. You wait for it to dry a little bit and then kind of pull the dried skin over the top. Simple paint job. Each of these has a cave on the left and a cave on the right. One of those caves contains the magic space baby. One of those caves contains something nasty. A little surprise for you, so stay tuned if you want to know which is which. And to that end, I don't even know which one is which, and that's what these are for. These are my chips. One of them is a happy chip, one of them is an unhappy chip, and the other 2 are nothing happened. So I'm going to place these just at random. And the first character to enter each of those caves will be able to investigate. Make a, actually, I tell you what we'll do. We'll have them make a search check at the mouth of the cave to determine what's inside. As I said, the crew of the Blackraven is not the only crew that's looking for the magic space baby. The mercenary crew, called the Pelagics, is also looking. Here you can see their boss man. This is the lieutenant. In Void Pirate terms, he is a shooter. Let's see if we can get this bad boy to focus on him. He's such a handsome lad. So here we have the leader of the Pelagics. He is a shooter. We've also got a melee specialist. He is a trooper who can be separated from his 4 trooper buddies because he's got a power sword. The rest of the troopers are all armed with rifles. These guys all have a default defense of 5 dice with no rerolls. He's got 6 dice for shooting. He's got a couple of rerolls on attacks. And otherwise, I think we're about ready to get started. The 1st thing we got to do is figure out who starts on which side. So what we're gonna do here is roll a 3+ chance roll. Did I say that right? We're gonna roll 4 dice for each of the leaders. And whoever scores the most successes is going to get to pick which side he comes in on. Hey, bear in mind, these guys are amphibious. They suffer no penalties when moving through the water. He can fly, but he's wearing heavy armor, so he can't, what is he? He moves 8 centimeters, and he can hop up and down and over and around everything, but he's got to land between jumps. So, as usual, golden dice for the Blackraven, white dice for the Black Cats. Whoever scores the most successes gets to choose. We've got 3 successes over here, and now that puts the Pelagics into a bit of a conundrum. In this situation, you can start over on one of these sides and get a quick jump, or you can start a little more even. And I think the Pelagics, because they have a little bit more of an easy time crossing the water, they're going to choose to start on that side. As you can see, that pond won't block them. You'll have to forgive the fans. It's a little warm in here. AC's blasting. I don't know if you can hear it. If you can, my apologies. We're just going to power through the same way we do every week. So we'll set the Pelagics up over there, Blackraven over here. We'll go to town. What you are looking at is actually the end of the first turn. You can see that Cobalt 15 has charged up along with Marion, and the quick and speedy Poultry Joe. Lieutenant Dane is moving off this way, and over there, already moved up, the Pelagics have decided to send the lieutenant over here. Cobalt's just going to ignore that one. Hopefully the baby's not there. He's sent 2 of his mooks this way, the melee and the shooter, and the other 3 mooks around this way to check out this one. So that's where we stand at the end of turn 1. And then we move on to turn 2, for which we really do need to... Now, nobody's got line of sight, so it didn't really matter this time around. But now we need to roll for initiative. And as you recall, because Cobalt 15 is a big dang hero, he rolls 6 dice, and he gets 2, 4, 6 successes to just 2, which means he gets to go first. And Poultry Joe is really going to come in handy on this one, because Poultry Joe can move up to right there. He moves a total of 12, and he gets to ignore that terrain. On the other side of the table, charging at 10, move him up. Poor old slacker Cobalt. As you recall, he can run at a mere 8 centimeters because he has basically what amounts to heavy armor. 10 centimeters. And finally, we'll give Dane a shot to slide over 6. And then ultimately he's got a range of 40 centimeters. So he is going to be able to, next turn, he'll slide up 4 just to get a little bit closer. Still no shot, out of range. And then we bring up the rest of the Pelagics, who also are hot-footing it as fast as their little legs can take them, while careful to avoid line of sight. Turn number 3 comes around, and this is where it's all going to come together. 2, only 3 successes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Holy cats, it looks like, despite his initiative difference, the Pelagics are going to get to go first. So we'll actually charge up to here. That lieutenant wants to know what's going on. Cobalt is going to take the bull by the horns and slide up 8 centimeters, 29 to 37, to there. Nope. He's going to slide around this way, careful to remain out of sight by that cliff. Pelagic's going to move this guy up 10, their melee boy. And they want to force one of these guys to commit. So now good old MVP. She can move to there and take a shot at Mr. Melee Boy. Now she's not the best, but it's worth a shot. She's got 4 dice to attack versus 5 dice to defend for that Pelagic. So her first shot, she does 1, 2, 3 hits. He defends with just 1. That's all there is to it. So already she manages to score 2 wounds. And we're going to go ahead and use our gcminis.com for the wound dice, which I don't usually like to do, but with the troopers, hey, why not? The bad news is that's going to allow him to move up. So, oh, you know what? How far away is that? Is that beyond 30? No, it is not. So if he moves up 6 centimeters to there, he can take a shot. And he is also within 30. So that's going to be a 4 for him. And Marion's got 4 dice for defense. So it's a straight 4 on 4. He gets 1 hit. Marion gets 4 defenses. Nothing happens. We're going to bring up the first. We'll slide him right over there. So Dane can slide up his 6. And he's got a shot with 6 dice. No, 7. Because if I recall correctly, he actually gained a point to his shooting skill. That's going to be a 7 versus 5. Oh. And he's got 3 rerolls. Lieutenant Dane does. That's the benefit of having an actual rifle. So we're going to reroll these 3 misses to see if we can add to our 3 hits. And we do add 4 more hits to it, compared to 4 defenses. So if we negate that, he still manages to do 3 successful wounds, and he gets knocked down. He can make a toughness check, and he only gets 1 success, so he is truly down and out of the fight. Not to be undaunted, these 2 guys are both going to move up 6 centimeters, and they also have rifles, so they get 3 rerolls, but unlike Dane, because they're simple thugs, they only roll 4 to hit. So we're going to have 3 rerolls here and 1 reroll there. For the first, it's going to be 3 hits versus 3 hits. We get a pair of rerolls to see who breaks the tie. That's going to be 2 hits on Lieutenant Dane, who has 4 vitality, and is now down to just 2. And that's only the first attack. 2 hits with a reroll, 3 hits. We've got 3 defenses, so the second shot does absolutely nothing. And that brings us to the end of the turn. Zooming in to show you all the action, we are back to the initiative roll. 6 dice versus 4 dice. We get no successes here. We get lots of successes here. And the first thing that Cobalt 15 is going to do is have Lieutenant Dane move up and take another shot at these fellas over there. 7 dice for Lieutenant Dane, 5 for his targets. And we get 2, 4, 6, 8 hits. We get 2, 4, 6 defenses. And that's going to be 2... Oh, wait a minute. That is not right. We've got 1 reroll over here. So that's an extra. We're going to go ahead and hang on to all of these hits. And just roll 2 more dice to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 hits versus 2, 4, 6, 7 defenses. and this guy goes down. However, that does buy enough time. Oh, does he go down? He gets a chance. If he gets 3 successes, he does not go down. He is on his last vitality. In fact, we're going to go ahead and bring, well, we already moved him, so we're going to move him up, and he's going to take a shot. That's going to be 4 dice versus Dane's 6 dice for defense versus 4. So Dane gets 1 defense with 1 reroll. He only gets 1 defense. That's 3 more hits. And Lieutenant Dane takes his... Oh, he actually gets 2 more rerolls. For no hits, Lieutenant Dane takes his last vitality. He's got to make a check to see if he can remain standing even though he's been KO'd. He gets no successes. Dane, what are you doing? Oh, he's tough. You know what? I take it back. He's going to use his 2 toughness and get 2 successes. So he takes no damage. Now, can he be tough again? He needs to get 3 successes. Nope, no more toughness for him. So Lieutenant Dane still has his 2 vitality, which is good for him. He's gone. Now it's time for Poultry Joe. No, it's time for Cobalt to be the leader everyone wants him to be. He's going to slide over here 4 centimeters. And take a shot at that melee boy. Cobalt has 5 dice to attack ranged, and that's going to be a 5-on-5. The Shark gets no rerolls. He gets 2 successes. Cobalt gets 2 successes. They are tied, but I think Cobalt gets, on a ranged attack, he gets 2 rerolls. So he scores 1 more success, and that's enough to knock the trooper down, unless the trooper gets a 3+ chance, which he does not. So he is truly out of the fight. Looking good here. Looking good. All right. The Shark Lieutenant is going to move up to here. And on the next round, he can make a hunt check. Oh, you know what? Searching is a free action. So he's going to go ahead and make that free action. I know you can't see him, but he's over there. And he gets no successes. So he has to search again next turn. Or he can enter and automatically reveal it. So that makes it Poultry Joe's turn. And Poultry Joe is going to use his powers of flight to fly from 26 to 16. No. To 14 and land right there. So on the next turn, he'll be able to move up and make his search check. We'll move this guy, who you'll recall has no vitality, and take a shot at Lieutenant Dane. And I got to start checking, because I don't think I used the right number for Dane. Dane's got a defense of 6 dice when he's shot at. As a shooter, he's really good at anticipating what's coming. Both of these fellas get some rerolls. There's 1 reroll for the attack. So there's a total of 4 hits. And he doesn't even need his rerolls. He got 7. So Lieutenant Dane escapes unscathed. So they're all done. He's moved. These are the only 2 left to go. Marion is going to stride up to here and take a shot at that fella. She's not very good at this, though. So this is a bit of a long shot, but hey, it's worth trying. She gets 4 successes compared to 2 hits. Does she get any rerolls on her ranged attack? She does. She's got a pistol. So her 4 successes become 5. And these 2 defenses are not enough. He's down to his last vitality on 3 successes. Let's roll that again so it's clear. No successes. He goes down. And I think that's everybody. Initiative. This might be important. 3, 4, 5 successes here. 4 successes here. And that's important because, well, it might be irrelevant depending on where that magic space baby is. But we're going to start off with him taking a shot over here so he doesn't have to take 2 shots in return. And he's not just going to stand there like a dope. He is advancing the 6 centimeters. Is he within 10? Not yet. So you know what? He's going to back up just a little bit more, because he doesn't want those guys closing within 10. When you're within 10, you get that extra bonus attack die. That's not good. There's no point in giving that to your enemies. So Lieutenant Dane rolls his attack, and he gets 3 rerolls to add to his 3 successes. He's got 4 successes, and his opponent gets 3. So he does 1 more point and puts that guy down. He's shooting at the guy that had already lost all of his vitality. The lieutenant goes. Here he is right here. See him? Peek. He goes into the cave, and he draws the nothing. Okay. Now he's in trouble. The pelagics are not looking good. He's only got 1 more guy left. So he's going to send this guy straight in. He's 6 centimeters. He runs into the cave. This is pretty much their only chance of, uh-oh, Piscatios. That's the bad face. And the bad face means that one of the local fauna jumps out and attacks. Here's the local fauna in question. That means the local fauna attacks. It's a wolf rat, and it's rough, and it immediately attacks this guy here. Now, the good news is it's got a melee of 6/6, and it's likely to kill that guy. The bad news is he's not going to stop after he has a bit of fish dinner. So here's that combat. 6 versus 5 for the attack, and he got 5 defenses versus 1, 2, 3, 4 on the attack. So that pelagic survives. That's the end of the turn over there. The only people left to go are over here. She moves up, does a search, and gets 2 successes. Not enough. He goes, now that we know he hears the roar of the wolf rat, he goes in to the cave and finds the magic space baby. See the happy face? That's how we know that that's the magic space baby. Now the only question left is, can they escape with their lives? And we're going to roll 3 dice for the initiative for the wolf rat, 4 for the pelagics, and the usual 6. So we got a 3-way fight going here. 4 successes for the pelagics, 1 for the wolf rat, and 2, 4, 5 for Cobalt 15. So the first thing we're going to do is jump him from... He's going to come out of the cave, and we'll give him a half a movement from 12 down to 6. So he's going to bop out to there with the magic space baby. Then it's going to go pelagics, and this lieutenant is going to rush around to see if he can save his boy, likely to no avail. And Dane is going to fade back to here, which leaves the big wolf fighting that pelagic. So the wolf's going to roll 6, the pelagic is going to roll 5, and what a terrible bit of luck for the shark boys. The wolf rolls no successes. The pelagic manages to fight him off. Look at that. Go, kitty, go. How about that? Sharks versus wolf rats is proving to be a lot more interesting than I expected. Hey, it's the Pelagic's turn. He can... I gotta go to the rule book. So the way breaking from combat works, it's your usual attack. The Pelagic scores 3 successes. To the Wolf Rats, 1 success, which means he successfully breaks away and moves 10 centimeters. And because he's not stupid, he's going to run into the pond for his turn. Remember, the pond is impassable to everyone who's not amphibious. 6. She's going to move 10, and Cobalt is going to move... he's going to kind of come over at an angle. He's going to move his regular 8 this way. And that is the end of the turn. So we'll do just what we did before. The Wolf Rat does not have a high initiative. We'll roll all these dice and count them up. So the Wolf Rat manages just 1 success. He's going to go last, and Cobalt's going to go first, as usual. Because the Space Baby is the most important thing, we're going to pull him from 20 to 32. And then the Pelagics are going to go. And by that, I mean the Lieutenant is going to rush to his buddy's aid, if possible. And then he's got to go. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a chance roll to see what he does. He's not going to go after, they're afraid of water, he's not going to go after the guy that's impassable. There's a chance that he goes to feast on the dead bodies that are out here. If I roll 3 successes, he's going to charge Lieutenant Dane. No successes, so I guess that's pretty much about it. Lieutenant Dane is going to hoof it straight back, the full 10. As is, he'll move up there to stay in the water as long as possible. And then she'll pull back 10 as well. You know, he might have taken a shot or two just to spite the Blackraven. But I think we're going to call it here. There's nothing the Pelagics can do to stop him. The Wolf Beast is distracted, and now Cobalt 15 has rescued the Magic Space Baby. So we have to figure out, what does that mean? Does he take it back to old... What was the guy's name? This is why we keep extensive notes of our wargaming. And I remember them. Agent Spliff is the man from the Kafkocracy that tasked Cobalt with the job of rescuing the happy Magic Space Baby, which Cobalt has now done. Cobalt isn't sure he wants to turn the Magic Space Baby over because, of course, the Kafkocracy is damned if you do, damned if you don't. And generally, when someone tells you you're darned if you do, darned if you don't, being a red-blooded, well, I guess not red-blooded. Call him a red hydraulic-oiled American? Oh, not American. He is a red hydraulic-oiled fringer when given a choice between being darned if he does and darned if he doesn't by the Kafkocracy. He likes to do whatever the Kafkocracy doesn't want him to do. So, stay tuned for the next episode of The Adventures of the Blackraven when we find out what the heck is the Magic Space Baby and why does the Kafkocracy want it so bad. Until then, thanks for playing along. I'm glad to have you along for the ride, and I'm looking forward to the next one. In the meantime, Viva Cristo Rey.